Hey movie lovers, welcome to Zack Attack Reviews. Thank you for joining me for my review of M3GAN, a new horror comedy directed by Gerard Johnstone. I looked him up. This is his first major big budget film. He has other short films and things he won awards for, but this is his first major one. And it's starring Allison Williams, who, was in the series Girls, where that was her breakout role, and also Get Out, where she scared all of us. And Violet McGraw, who's Little Girl in Haunting of Hill House, and Black Widow. Is M3GAN just another cliche AI gone wrong horror movie, or is this the Chucky for the new generation? Before I get into that, let's start with the premise. M3GAN is a marvel of artificial intelligence, a lifelike doll programmed to be a child's greatest companion and a parent's greatest ally. Designed by Gemma, a brilliant roboticist, M3GAN can listen, watch, learn as it plays the role of friend and teacher, playmate, and protector. When Gemma, played by Allison Williams, becomes the unexpected caretaker of her 8-year-old niece, she decides to give the girl a M3GAN prototype, a decision that leads to unimaginable consequences. M3GAN is rated PG-13 for terror, suggestive references, violent content, and language. Just for the jump, M3GAN is the star of the show, this movie, played by Amy Donnell, who is a child dancer. She was the perfect pick because she captures the physicality of an AI that looks like a little girl perfectly. From the way her presence is on screen, how she carries herself, the way she moves around, where it looks like certain movements look natural, like she's lifelike, but there's certain things that are just off that makes it seem unnatural, and it creates this weird uncanny effect where at first glance it's like, yeah, she almost looks like a real girl, but then she does something like, whoa, no, she's not, and it becomes this horrifying, terrifying mix where you feel like it can blend in and then just do anything because they made this thing out of titanium. Jenna Davis voices M3GAN, and she does an equally great job giving M3GAN personality, sass, charisma that leaps off the screen. But also as the movie progresses and she starts getting like awareness, it starts becoming creepy, aggressive, and sassy in a way that is terrifying. Even though M3GAN is the star of the show, why you go see this movie, all the memes and things that she's created in the last couple months since the trailer came out, and the hilarity that ensues in this movie because of her, Allison Williams' Gemma and Violet McGraw's Katie are the heart of the film. Their relationship or lack thereof is what the story is built around, and it implies a lot of the social commentary that's going on in the film that is really prevalent. Gemma is a roboticist who is trying to achieve something that no one else has achieved by making this lifelike doll, and she eventually invents M3GAN, and she's so focused on this that she kind of doesn't pay attention to her niece who needs the help. And Katie, who played by Violet McGraw, does a fantastic job just displaying all those emotions. Someone that just lost their parents and is looking for someone to show them that love that they need at that age that she is. I think she's like 8, 9, or 10 or something like that. And I think that she did a fantastic job in this film, making you really feel every emotion that she was going through, the depression and some of the other things that you would go through after, going through such a terrifying thing. And the way she interacts with them and that building relationship was really, really engaging. And then her relationship with M3GAN was really great. She really played it up, just like how you think a little girl would do when she gets this life-like, basically, a Barbie doll that can think on its own, and how she gets attached to it. I think that the movie executed that really well. There's some very on the nose but very poignant social commentary on how technology is raising our kids and how it's going to affect the relationships that the kids have not only with their parents but other people. How is it doing it now, and how it may get worse in the future? And I think that uplifted this horror comedy a little bit, where you saw that it was all of a mixture. It worked on 3 different levels. It had the comedy, I think that came first, and then the social commentary came second, and then the horror was third, and it all mixed in with each other to kind of create this engaging story through this brisk, I think it was an hour and 48-minute movie. The pacing was really good, and they spent the time on the right scenes to give that emotional impact. The movie is a lot more comedy than horror than I expected. Going in, I thought I was going to be laughing at the movie, not laughing with it, but I caught myself laughing out loud in the theater, and a lot of people in my packed theater laughing out loud as well at a lot of moments. And as the movie progressed, it got funnier and funnier and funnier, and it mixed really well with the horror as the horror got more violent and got more sinister as it was going on. The movie is PG-13, so it doesn't go as over the top as it could. That's why I said the horror is probably the third most important part here, and it's not as impactful as it could be, but it's there. It's effective and it's used really well, and it's not scary, but it's creepy. Those creepy moments was executed well. They were intense. They were creepy and progressed in the intensity and the creepiness as the movie progressed. The way you felt when you watched Child's Play with Chucky and the different good Chuckies and any movie with like a doll and kids, they execute a lot of those tropes really well in this movie that made it a very solid watch when talking about the horror elements of the film. The story is well executed because of the relationships between the characters and M3GAN being such an entertaining antagonist villain. But the story is pretty predictable. If you've seen any AI gone wrong or doll turn evil kind of story, you know where it's going to go from the beginning. But the sense of humor in the film is what kept it really engaging and fun. I had a really big blast watching this in the theater, and a lot of people in the theater I went to did as well. But if the comedy doesn't hit for you or it doesn't land, your enjoyment of the film is going to drop a lot, because the horror aspect is not strong enough to keep horror fans like super engaged throughout. Let's get into my verdict. So my verdict, I break it down in who's this for and should you go check it out, and what my overall feelings. I'm going to start with who's this for. If you want a fun, funny horror film with an engaging character that it feels familiar, but it's still a little bit more because of the technology used and the performance by the child dancer and everything involved, and the supporting cast was really good around it. Those three main characters. I definitely think you should check this out. It was a fun time in the theater, and I had a really, really, really good time, and people around me did as well. So definitely go with friends. If you were looking for something that's a little bit more inventive, something that was more scary and not just some standard jump scares, standard horror elements, and something a little bit more violence in terms of showing the violence. It is PG-13, so there's certain things they could not show. Then this might be something that you should check out, but maybe later. My overall thoughts, I said it many times, I had a lot of fun in this movie. I was engaged for the whole runtime. The pacing was really great. Like I said, it's only an hour and 48 minutes, so it's not like a super long commitment. I really like M3GAN, and I hope that we do get a sequel and this becomes a franchise. Hopefully not overrun it like Chucky did, but I feel like the way they did this is a Chucky for a new generation, because it's touching on AI and iPads and all these different things that kids use now and how it's affecting relationships. And I can see that being broadened in more and more and more, and they can probably even get more bonkers. I think this was a really good, solid start. And I'm excited for the memes to come from everything that M3GAN was saying and doing. And obviously we saw the dance and how that GIF was used over and over. And obviously, like, I'm just going to tell you right now, that moment was just put in the movie just so they could put it in the trailer and get you interested. Because when I was watching, I was like, why is she dancing right now? But I understood what they were going for. It was pretty funny. And a lot of people laughed out loud in the theater. You could see that a lot of them didn't see the trailer for this before they went to watch it. But with that said, I'm going to give this movie a C+. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What would you rate M3GAN if you saw it in the theaters? And if you did not, and you watched my review, is it something that you feel like it's going to go and check out in the theaters because of what I said in my review, or something you're going to wait for streaming or skip completely? Let me know in the comments below how you're feeling. Like the video if you like my review, subscribe to the channel and help it grow, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified of my reviews, reactions, and ranking lists coming. Speaking of that, I have my top 10 worst movies of 2022 coming up very soon, and some reviews of some Netflix movies that came out over the weekend. So you can watch more of my content right now.